it. I like having one person with me. I don't like 7.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Jason Dupree with the OCR Report here at OCRWC 2021. We are about to watch the 100-meter finals, the semifinals, and the finals for this short course. We've got a couple of different cameras around the course, and we're going to be watching these athletes take on this course as hard as they possibly can. So it's going to be short and fast and awesome. After we watch this, we are going to do a recap of the team race today as well. Stay tuned for that. Right now, it seems as though they are walking through the course with the athletes, just double checking, making sure everybody understands all of the rules, and that, try to minimize misunderstood mistakes. So stay with us. They should be starting shortly here. I'm counting 1, 2, pardon the noise in the background. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. It's hard to tell for sure. If it was 8, that would probably make sense.
And VJ is number 2.
Got Mr. Bobby going around the course. They were doing some tightening up on the rigs earlier, making sure everything's tight.
Are you good with Jamie's location?
Yes, she is in a great location.
Do I need to get her an all-access badge?
No, she's on the outside of the barrier, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's good to go.
Over in another area, she's fine.
Yeah. We are live watching Adrian go over some rule specifications with the it looks like 8 athletes, I believe.
8 athletes is what they're going to have for the age group. So you have 8 of them. They're each going to get I believe it's just one run through. And the 2 fastest times will then go head-to-head for the whole kit and caboodle.
So are they doing, is it all age groups in one?
No, it looks like this is just your 30. No, this is your 25. Let me double check. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up. I actually know one of the guys that's going to be running in this group. I've been staying with him this weekend. So he's pretty excited. Let me double check and I can let you know where we're at.
The course, as far as we can tell, has not been changed at all.
It has not.
Other than bolts tightened to make sure it's everything stays on while the athletes fly through, because they are going to go at breakneck pace. Yeah, there's definitely it's hard to tell. It doesn't, like, I would look at that and think, no, well, that's not the top pros, but I know looking at the times earlier, it wasn't, all the names that you see from the OCR course.
So all you have here, this is just your open male, right? So it's all age groups, men in the open. It's your top 8. So we're going to have Anthony Erdley, Ilya Fiodaria. I apologize if I'm completely messing up your name. There's going to be Rondell Snyder, Tony Medagalia, Jonial Mendez, Jonathan Hart, Max Kearney, and Jonathan Castaneda. Those are going to be the top 8. And you're going to see some really fast times. From the qualifying, your top time, the number 1 seed, so to speak, is at 39.7, with your number 8 coming in at 52.1. So they're going to be flying through this course as they go through. So don't blink once they get going, because you might miss it.
And what are we expecting? Just a head-to-head, you go, and if you lose, you don't continue?
No, I think what they do is you're going to have you get 1 run. So each one of these 8 competitors, I believe I'm not sure what the rules are on that part. I'd expect them that they let them go one at a time
Though, right?
and go through. If they're looking because they need time constraints, they might do 2 at a time. But what's going to happen? Each one of all those 8 are going to get 1 run,
Yes, thanks.
and then the top 2 times from there will go head to head for the championship.
Finals.
Yes, so I would assume that they might just let them go 1 at a time. That's what they've really been doing all weekend, and then let them go at it head to head at the end. But we'll see what happens once we get rolling in to verify our hypothesis, so to speak.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, whichever route they go. But definitely the head-to-head, they've got to do that at some point because that's going to be the most exciting.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, this is, I know OCR related, but I mean, probably the funnest things I watched was like the American Ninja Warrior team stuff when they go on the course right next to each other and you see them going, and it brings a whole different ball game to it when you have someone right next to you breathing down your throat.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's slated to start at 3. Looks like they needed to go over all those rules. Maybe everybody wasn't there yet, but we're at 218 or 318 right now. And
can we tell on the course about what obstacle they're sitting on right now? I know they're walking through one by one, making sure there's no confusion, because that can be a big thing. The last thing you want is the guy to get halfway through the course and they do something they're not supposed to and get DQ'd or something, right?
Yeah,
so,
I think they walked all the way through already. I mean, we saw down past where we're looking at on the left here is where they finished, not where the rings are, but to the right of that. And Adrian and that group walked past there. So I take it that they're done going through the course with that group at least.
And I'd assume if I put this together, we'd see that you basically start number 8 would go first and work its way up. Or you might say, hey, 1 goes for, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's your advantage there. Would you want to be the last one running all the time to get in the top 2, but then you're gassed for it? Or do you go through you basically do each of the age groups going through and then let the top 2 after you go through with it all? So you run male, female, then do the pro male, pro female, and then get the top 2 from each one and then go back over through it.
That would
way
make
you get
sense.
some rest time, right?
Yeah, give them time to get their breath back under them and then let them really go all out after that.
Once again, folks, this is all speculation right now, right? We don't know exactly what the game plan is. There's not a whole lot of details on the website or anything else. I was talking with my buddy beforehand, and he's like, I don't know. They just said I need to be there for 3, but I don't have any idea if I'm first or pro's going first or anything else. So I think this is new for all of us today.
Well, I think watching these 3 different camera angles is going to be really cool. Seeing them blast through each section.
I think you guys watching at your couch at home or, over in your hotel, wherever you're out, even on the road, right? If you've already left and still wanted to see this, you probably have a better seat than some of the people here on site because you're able to see that whole course just because of how they had to have it set up.
Yeah, we had a camera up top in the balcony, but for some reason couldn't get it connected, so that one's out. It would have been really nice to have a wide-angle camera on top of the balcony to be able to really see the whole thing, because it really only saw a small section anyways.
I guess we're going to be testing Jason's switching between camera skills, right? Because they're going to be flying around those corners and getting to the next one so that we can see where they're going. Well, hopefully he can click fast enough for the ride.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it looks like they're making sure the course is all cleared out and everything right now. Got Adrian right there, down there on the right, kind of giving some last-minute directions.
It's going to be interesting to see how much the wind plays a part because of those cargo nets.
I don't know. Well, I guess so, right?
Because some of them, pretty good.
I guess with some of those on it, their feet would get tangled up on it. But a lot of these guys, they're swinging in and kind of skipping that first little section.
Yeah. Aaron saying 2 of the guys in open could have qualified in pro with their times, and yeah, that's it's all about where you register. Oh, here we go.
Oh, they are going head to head. That's so cool. Oh no, he missed his swing.
Oh wow.
Lost a lot of time trying to go big and it didn't quite do it. Now there is the rule with the monkey bars. Oh, they might have changed it. I know during qualifying that they had to touch that first monkey bar, and instead of being able to swing halfway through. So it'll be interesting to see if that rule changed now that we're in the finals to give them more leeway to go through.
Oh, he missed.
Oh, he missed the bell. Always hard to go first. Kind of know what how to pace yourself and go.
And this other gentleman could potentially catch up.
So it's cool. This next one, they're actually on a rope that slides down the rail for them to get to. Rope climb. Man.
Oh, come on, push through, get that time. I don't know where the timing mat was at the end there.
He missed it. It's a little bit right where the volunteer guy was standing. There's some mats over there.
Mat,
the yellow mat is the end of the chip. That's rough. Both of them missed a bell or missed an obstacle. That's gonna hurt. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to keep them up in the running for the top 2 spots, knowing what the other guys can bring.
Yeah, it's gonna basically depend on if these other guys can get through clean.
Dude, nerves are a thing though. The pressure on. It's one thing to be doing in the middle of the day, no one watching, maybe just a few friends. But coming in here with the lights, I mean, we got a good crowd standing around. You got those nerves and adrenaline, and now you have someone next to you, and you didn't really have that during the qualifying stuff. There's a lot of things that can mess with you, right? So, they're going through.
David's fixing the bell,
resetting the course, right? Making sure all the ropes, all the bells are in the right location, so it's fair run for everybody. Another interesting thing to point out, right? Because of the 2 lanes and the curves and everything else. You have the inside lane that gets kind of a quick turn in but on the backside, you notice that the one that has that inside lane at first has to go around the outside the back. So it kind of evens out that playing field in case you're kind of wondering from home on which lane would be better. It's really 6s at that point because you have the same amount of turns and you kind of switch back and forth with the inside and outside with how that course is laid out.
Yeah. There we go.
The next 2 going. See how that inside lane, they get a little bit more of that edge coming through where he had to go out wide. But see, he has to go wide and he gets in short. Oh, he's able to hang on.
Big jump on.
Oh, look, he skipped the whole thing with the Skull Valley. But he got sculled up. He got passed again. See what they do here. They jump past those cargo nets.
He made that one big move, but at this point, apologies for the sounds.
Now they swing down on that rope. Come to this next one. Those are those Force 5 hang gliders that second to last obstacle before the rope climb. Don't look back. Go, 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 go.
Maybe their time, like whoever wins that heat, goes on to the next round.
It might be.
If there's no timing chip. I mean, there might be for official timing, but
something's going down on the thing saying he might have done something to get that. Let's see if we can get some inside information.
Jason's gonna head down and see what happened. See if we can turn up the camera in here.
That's exactly what I got my camera doing. Don't even do this. Hype people up?
Yeah, like why did...
Set the alarm on.
Not sure what happened there.
So they're both...
So heartbreaking news. So part of it you see here at the start line, you see the yellow tape down on the ground right in front of it. They can't touch it. They have to be behind that tape in order to progress forward. Actually, both athletes on this run actually touched the tape and both are actually DQ'd.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So you're trying to go fast, but you got to remember the rules, and that's an unfortunate thing. They went over the line or touched that tape going into some of the obstacles throughout here, and so both got DQ'd even though they're flying through that course.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking.
Was it at the start, or... Okay, that's what I didn't think it was.
Oh, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have them.
So we've got...
One that was supposed to be up
Getting the
where
next two
Next
lined
group.
up. We should be getting them coming down the pipeline here
I
shortly.
couldn't get it to connect, so now I'm down here holding it. Woohoo! Come on, Tony!
Dude, I'm hoping we get to use this. Whose foot's closer?
A lot of ninja flashbacks with that, right? It's like falling in the water. You know, you go to these comps and you fell and you're done. Unlike a lot of the OCR where if something happens, you get the burpees or you get retry and everything else. This is given almost a different mindset for some of these athletes, right? They're not used to that, almost like a ninja type rule inside of an OCR 100-meter course, right?
Yeah.
So,
Here we go.
and so I know the guy on the inside lane right now with the gray shorts is Tony. Look at him flying.
Did they specify about touching? Oh, he's down.
In his way. I didn't see. I might be able to go get some details here in a minute and see what that is. Man, he got caught up in that net, like you were saying. The wind might play an issue. Watch, he's gonna. Oh, he touched the rope. We might have changed that rule. I know that Tony in qualifying.
Oh, wow.
Come on, get up there. Go. Tony got him by a hair. It looks like.
Yeah,
We'll
just
see.
leaned into it.
We'll see what the timing chips say at the end. But man, it looks like Tony edged him out. That was a close, tight race. Now, I know that in qualifying, Tony, he showed me his video there. He actually jumped and actually didn't even use the rope to slide across that third to last obstacle, right? There's a rope and it slides along the pipe to hit the bell.
Yeah.
He did a broad jump all the way through and just hit the bell. I wonder if they specified that you at least had to touch one of the elements within that apparatus to go forward with
I
it.
feel like we've seen some of the guys already do some leaps into some obstacles. Kind of hard to tell, but I feel like I saw somebody do that already.
But he, like the rope there, you're
Like
supposed
just
to
earlier,
swing.
right.
Yeah, but he
Maybe on
completely
certain
didn't even
obstacles.
use the rope. He just jumped and hit the bell from
Mhm.
one side to the other, and I think they have to at least touch one piece of the apparatus
It's possible.
as going through. I might be able to go down here when we get a little break, maybe between the transition when they go over the rules and get some clarifications from some of the athletes down on the course.
I'm also curious about the monkey bars, if they have to touch that
Touch
first
the first one or not, because
That was a rule previously.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, if
From
they
our
change it,
from our angle, it didn't really look like it.
it looks like
they
some of
skipped
them
that
have been
first one.
skipping and
Yeah.
some of them haven't. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a clarification on that. And both of them can be very proud of that time. That's
Yeah.
kind of scary. I wonder though, like you saw the guy on the outside lane with the compression tights on. You know, he fell in front of him, kind of impeded Tony a little bit for a second on that turnaround at the halfway point of the course. Hopefully that doesn't play too much effect here later on as we keep going to these head-to-head battles.
And then Tony fell coming off
The other one and almost impeded him, so I guess it evened itself out. I think this should be our last round for this age group, and then we can see what the results are.
Look, in this world, you got to accept the
You guys are here tonight?
It's funny, we could hear the crowd behind us because there's about a 4 or 5 second delay on the cameras, so we could hear the crowd as they were falling before we saw it.
Okay, right?
All right.
Yeah?
down, yeah. I got this phone,
Yeah.
Pro Max 12.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it.
I
It's got like I did a YouTube video
Yeah.
and go to because I bought it for the pictures.
Yeah. Yep.
So I guess that was Tony and Rondell on this last one. So this should be Anthony and Ilya. It looks like they went in order on the slowest times to the fastest time. So this should be Anthony and Ilya against each other on this last run.
So these were the two fastest
These are the two
times for that
fastest
age
times
group.
for the age group that are about to go. And then we'll just have to see if their times hold up against the other ones that have previously gone. But I mean, odds are better if you already had 2 DQ'd. So now you just have to be, what is that? 6 other times instead of 8, or 4 other times instead of 6. If you have
Right.
2 that got taken out of the mix already.
And if they're taking, who finished first as opposed to chip time,
And then
maybe there is a chip time just to, in case they need that tiebreaker like they're going to use here. To use here.
So it looks like they're going through, making sure all the bells are in the right spot, getting the course reset, so everything's ready for that. The next two, we should see them coming down the pipeline here in just a moment.
To redo the...
He's gonna have to revisit it.
Maybe next year they'll get us a a sound booth.
That would be nice. It'd also be cool, nice, even like what we were seeing with the pro teams and everything else earlier today, just like the rosters with the names, so that we can kind of be able to talk a little bit more about who's who.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that we've been here doing this, we know the layout. We know we could probably get somewhere else as opposed to where we're sitting at right now. While I love being right here on the balcony and being able to see right off, see the mountain straight behind us, it would be better to be somewhere a little quieter.
And they're jumping to the next one, or yeah.
First timer, sorry.
All right, sounds like they're announcing the next two based on the crowd noise.
Yeah.
Judges are getting into place to watch.
I know I think they said for the pros that top 3 had a cash prize, and that number 4 you got entry into next year.
One thing we don't have is a camera right at the start to know exactly when they're going.
Looks like they are up on the line though, based there over on the right hand side.
That sucks, because Tony did his time in 49 seconds. And he was like, I knew I could push it, and I bet I can get 45.
That's insane. I ain't getting yelled at.
Oh, photo.
And we're waiting patiently. Not quite sure what's happening down there at the moment.
You could put your hand.
Here we go.
Are they getting a rerun?
These,
because the guy with the white hat backwards ran just a minute ago.
That's true, and that guy just
jumped
and
didn't even touch any of the Skull Valley. So I am interested now to kind of know what.
But did he go already?
I don't recall seeing the what is that, like a sprinter suit?
Yeah.
Earlier.
Taking a breather there.
Very efficient run, other than his pause on the turnaround. That was a really solid time that he put down right there.
That was a pretty quick time.
Yes.
But was he fresh, whereas the other guy had ran already?
Yep. I'm going to go down and see if I can get some more intel on some of these rules and stuff so that we can get some clarification on some of the questions we might have going on.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
Jason, if you can hear me, I don't know if my audio is on and if you know what's going on. People are getting DQ'd because their foot is touching the tape. They said it doesn't matter if the wind's blowing or anything, that's the start of the obstacle and you know it's there. And so, yeah, people are getting DQ'd because they are touching the tape.
Hopefully Jason can get us some clarification about how they are running the rules and what we can expect to see from here.
It might say something like disqualifications.
It did look like the two gentlemen touch the yellow tape, and you're not supposed to touch the tape at all. You gotta make sure you jump before it, so you can't step on it. And so yeah, the 2 of them got disqualified. And here we go. Maybe it's possible that they're doing some sort of tiebreaker to figure out who's going to be the difference between the 2 DQs. Because this seems like the 3rd time that this gentleman in the white hat is going. And the gentleman in the black pants took the outside lane even though he was on the inside lane. So now they've switched lanes. Not sure what's going to happen with that. Definitely interested to see what's going to happen there.
They crossed lanes.
That's all them. I'm a course marshal here.
I know, I was just telling you, since we're having our own conversation.
I thought they were supposed to stay in their lane.
I did too. So that's what people are, Bobby.
They both switched.
Okay. That's what people up there and there, they're all calling it.
All right, so that was the final heat that we just witnessed. And then the one that won is actually from Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico took the gold, or first place, against our American back behind. I have over here, actually, I was able to go down and get one of the competitors. Maybe he can shed some light on some of the rules and some of the things going down on the course, since we're not able to hear everything with the booth that we're in, to kind of give us an idea of what's going on with some of the things that we're seeing down there. So I was able to get Tony here with us.
Tony, what's your last name?
Medaglia.
Nice to meet you. Jason.
Nice to meet you, man.
So we have some clarifications. I know that we talked a little bit throughout the weekend. I know that you've been running this course a couple of times to get qualified here. One thing is, what is the deal? We saw a few DQs. What was the reason for those DQs?
So the tape that's set up before every obstacle, if you touch the tape in any way before you come off of the ground, you're automatically disqualified.
In the front or in the back?
Yes. So
Okay.
the tape, it was only at the beginning of every obstacle.
Okay, so you can't touch it at all, but you have to start behind it.
Yes. So if you could start the obstacle and you start behind the tape and you fail it, you're allowed to retry it. But if you touch the tape in any way before you leave the ground, you're automatically disqualified.
Or get on the other side of it.
Yes.
Okay.
If
Very
you touch
good.
it, are they calling it out like it's then and there? Hey,
So
you touched it.
every athlete has a judge specifically for them on their lane, and they raise their hand as soon as they see you touch the tape.
Okay, very good. Now, another question we had going on through it, right, is I know there's some people that will jump in completely like over through Skull Valley. I know that you, during qualifying, jumped, past the rope and hit it. I mean, that's pretty impressive, feat of power and everything else. But is that still a go, or what is the rule? Do you have to touch an apparatus, or what's the rules there?
So the only rule is you have to start behind the tape, and you have to be able to hit the bell before you hit the ground. You can use any bit of the obstacle or as little of the obstacle as much as you want to. The only thing specifically was like Skull Valley, and a couple of the other ones where the lanes were tight. You have to lead with your right side to hopefully avoid that mix-up of running into the person next to you.
So Skull Valley, you can jump like we saw. I don't know the gentleman's name. I'm sorry, but he's in the green tracksuit and everything. He jumped straight through and hit the bell. That was completely legal.
As long as you start behind
As
the
long
tape.
as stop behind the tape.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I know that in some of our discussions and everything else over the weekend as well, the monkey bars.
Yes.
One thing we were saying, just grab the rope and you can swing halfway across.
Yes, so Adrian made the clarification today that you do not have to use the first monkey bar for this finals.
Very good. That's one thing that we had questions about as we were going through on. We were seeing some people use the first one, others people not. I know we had some discussions and everything at night, so we just wanted to get the viewers and everybody, clarification on some of those.
Yeah, for sure.
things.
I got one more. Did they specify about changing lanes? Because it seemed like that actually happened on this last go.
So Adrian specified that you had to stay in the lane that you were designated in from the start. So if there were any lane changes, that should not have been allowed.
Yeah, he definitely did because he went from the outside to the inside on that turn on the back over there.
Gotcha. So during the walkthrough, Adrian specified you had to stay in the lane that you started in because there's two 90-degree turns and two like kind of a U-turns in a way, both going in each direction, so it should even out.
He went inside to outside, so then the guy in the white hat ended up having to go outside to inside.
It'd be
That's
interesting if
interesting.
that was. He flew through. Now, I think one thing we did notice is the guy with the hat that ended up in the finals.
Yes.
He basically, that was his third run.
Yes.
So why did he get that second run?
So the person that was 8th place that was supposed to be competing is also running in the pro wave. So he got pulled out of the open so he could run in the pro. So they just gave the guy in 7th or the last round a second person to run against. So it was still a head-to-head competition.
So this was open, not age group.
Correct.
Gotcha. The only
There's no age group, though,
it's just
right?
pro and open.
Correct.
So the guy that's also, I guess it's Jonathan Castaneda, I believe,
Yep.
is the individual. He actually competed in both divisions, but because he's in the pro as well, they
bumped him up.
They
to
bumped
pro.
him up to pro and said that open spot's going to be for someone else.
Yep. So the person the guy that ended up in second place at the overall tonight.
Yes.
His second run that he did was just a fun run, so somebody went against him. So that run did not count.
That didn't count. That was just him practicing, which almost was against him. It gave him more experience, but at the same time, it was almost be against him if you're thinking through it, you may not want to take that chance.
Exactly. So one thing we were kind of talking was they could have taken the 9th place person and bumped him up.
And let him say, hey, get an extra run on course even though you're not up in the running with the timing?
Yes.
Interesting. Now, did that one individual, did he have the choice to be able to run the extra run as a fun run?
That one I don't know. I wasn't there when they made that decision.
Very good. Now, they just went over the rules with your age group, correct?
Correct. Yeah, so what they're going to do is at the beginning of every division, so male open, male pro, female pro, everybody has to walk through the 8 athletes with Adrian, so that way all the questions are hashed out right then and there, and then they just start.
And that way it's also fresh for each one,
yes.
Instead of doing all of you at one time. That way it keeps it going through. So it looks like that's what they're doing right now is our age group females.
Open
Females. Open females, sorry, because we don't have age groups now. It's just open all the way. So open females are getting their walkthrough right now. So we're going to be we won't probably see any action now for a good 15, 20 minutes as he does the walkthrough, depending on how many questions they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
This cloud cover we're starting to get.
Dude, that's a pretty cool view right there, right?
That's great.
Gorgeous day. So we're also talking. We saw the wind was blowing pretty good, right? And so you had on the cargo nets, they were kind of going through the wind. Did that have any effect on the course itself?
Not as much as I think so. I mean, in the moment, you have like a split-second choice to figure out what you're going to do and just get it done. I mean, for me, I got my foot tangled up on the vertical cargo net.
We did see that, yes.
But at that point, I don't know if that was the wind, if that was just my jump error to a different direction. Everything goes so fast.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for example, like my fault that I had, that me stepping on the tape, the second to last obstacle, I just had to go because I could feel the guy was directly side by side with me the whole time through.
So did you end up getting DQ'd?
Yes.
Sorry to hear that.
Otherwise, I passed him. They deemed that I was faster across the finish line.
We saw that. We saw that as it looked like you got there ahead.
But a couple of people pulled up their videos, and I had a good toe over that.
So which obstacle was that?
That was the one where the two teeter-totter looking ones.
If you see in the view that you have up right here, the one in the background behind the red skulls, the one behind it, you see the two little bars.
Yep.
That's a Force 5 hanger or teeter-totter.
Yep.
So on that obstacle, you touch the yellow.
Just barely over.
So, sorry, my man.
That's okay, man. It was still fun, and that was that head-to-head competition of right neck and neck. That's exactly what I was going for anyway.
That is awesome. Yeah, congrats on getting that far, man.
And the fact that the guy that I was head-to-head with was the guy that won it, I mean, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. My other question then, I know that you kind of have more of a ninja background.
A little bit.
Correct, right? So I know these are a lot more OCR athletes, so to speak, that are out there. Did, having that head-to-head aspect, the big crowd and everything, change the way you were or make the course any difficult with the qualifying when it's kind of open and not really a lot of people or eyes on you?
In a way, yeah. Like the ninja training that we've done historically at Legendary Fitness, that's our home gym back in Wisconsin. Being that loud crowd cheering each other on helps distract you from losing your focus of what you're going to do, because you map out every single move you're going to make before you go ahead and do it. So that way you can just put your eyes on the prize and get it done. So all that loud distraction is actually good to help you not overthink what you're doing.
Very awesome.
That's cool. Good to hear your point of view on that. So wow, they're moving through pretty quick. It looks like they're on the second to last obstacle with the questions on the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with it being a little cooler in the wind, did that have any effect on you with the outdoor stuff?
Just for the warm-ups. because I was getting a little chilly at the start. But as soon as I was in there, everything was perfect.
So do you have any place to do, because I know a lot of this is like your upper body, the shoulders, everything else like that. Was there really a place that they had set up for you guys to get warm up?
Not really. So it was pretty much whatever your warm up was before the walkthrough that was it and go.
Wow.
So, but for me, like just having that jacket, just at least keep the shoulders, the back, and everything warm, that was pretty much what needed.
Yeah, you can see a lot of these girls wearing hoodies.
Yep.
Yeah, it's chilly out there. That wind is really blowing through, and it's dropped it down. The temperature's dropped significantly. I can see that playing a factor as well. Later, as we get later on in the evening and getting ready for the pros and stuff coming up shortly.
It's the best one-liner.
Tony, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
Awesome.
This was a blast.
Great insight.
I had a great weekend all the time too. So
Yeah.
you guys need anything, let me know.
And you did the 3K and 15K as well?
So I did 3K and then the 100 meter. I wanted to make sure I went all and the team relay.
All the short
I wanted
stuff.
to go all out just for all speed. That's all what I've been focusing on the last 4 months.
Very cool. Did it play out how you hoped?
It did. I left everything out there on both legs. We ended up I ended up 4th for the 3K for my age group, and then our team relay for the open wave all male ended up in 4th.
Congrats, that's cool.
Thanks.
So I guess one other clarification, I just kind of taking it just what I was seeing and seeing where you came up with the head-to-head. Now, are they pairing up like 7th and 8th against each other and
Yes.
going 7th and 8th all the way up to 1st and 2nd
Yes.
on the run orders, so that way we can kind of pull up and know who's running against who here on the course?
Yes.
Awesome. So I guess as we're getting ready here with the females that are about to be running, the top 8 that we have, and once again, as you go back and watch this, I completely apologize if I butcher your name. But we have coming in right now, I'm going to go 1st through 8th. Angelica Glasgow is in 1st currently with the seating. You have Lucia Valentova. Jack. We're first off. So on course, we should have Maria Tornard against Julia Dombrowski. On the course. Now these times ranged anywhere from 1:28 to about 2:12. So we should see a little bit more time on obstacles, a little bit different technique with it, unlike some of the males in the open that were jumping through a lot. You will probably see them utilizing a lot more of the elements as we go through each one.
You can see the girl in the back, her foot bumped up. I mean, she was trying to get up that cargo net, but her foot bumped up. It's not like she jumped into it, so I wouldn't expect that to play a factor. It's not like she stepped on it, I don't believe.
Is it even incidental contact your deemed DQ, or is it up to the judge's discretion?
I believe it would be up to the judge's discretion at that point. Adrian's rule was if you touch the tape, then you were DQ'd.
Okay.
So
we'll see.
he doesn't want a gray area for interpretation,
Exactly.
right? I can't blame him when you're got a fast course like this and money is on the line. At least later on, right? It's free entries for you, which is still money in essence, in
Yes.
a different set to be able to come defend your title.
Yep, and then there's still the finisher medals for the top 3 as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
So-
another interesting thing. If I understand correctly, for all the other races this weekend, you automatically, by signing up, you got a T-shirt, you got a finisher medal that was included with your sign-up fee. For the 100 meter, you don't get any bling or anything to show that you did the 100 meter unless you're in the top 3 or top 4.
So top 8, all the semifinalists get a medal, and then they also have top 3 overall for your division.
Okay, so it looks like all of them will get the cool medal, but you don't get the bronze, silver, and gold unless you come in the top 3 right now. So this is where you put all the work to test.
Yep.
Now here you want to see her sprint across the line there, right?
Exactly,
Because it's not whoever wins your time to time. It's all based on your chip, right?
Exactly.
So where do we have?
Actually, that's interesting because none of us had timing chips. I believe they just have somebody with.
They have a stopwatch.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Because
Yeah, so
our start line was just a piece of tape on the ground.
If she, she didn't beat the other girl, does that mean that she's automatically, that's the end for her?
Not necessarily, because if other people are disqualified,
Yeah,
that could
because
play the factor as well.
Okay.
so do you know how many
you
were?
weren't finished through?
Do you know how many of the open males actually got DQ'd? Because we know 2, actually 3 now for sure. And as I was walking out there to kind of get some more info and everything, it sounded like the guy that we were talking about earlier in the green jumpsuit also ended up getting DQ'd
Yep. So
as
that
well.
was-
So that was half the field that got DQ'd just by touching the tape.
So that puts us at only 7 finalists and 4 were DQ'd. So whoever finished was top 3.
Man, that
From here.
it goes to show though, sometimes it's important to pay attention to those rules, and even though speed can kill,
Why would
right?
you need to
Exactly.
use the outside rope?
And, the course, the 15K, the 3K, the rules are pretty not lenient's the wrong word. They're pretty simple
Yeah.
out there, especially for things like hurdles where there's nobody watching.
Yes.
Here, all eyes are on it, so I'm sure their rules are very, very stringent and detailed.
So I mean, is this really like a ninja competition that you're seeing as you've gone through it, or is it kind of a little bit more relaxed ninja competition that's more like OCR oriented? What's your take on that?
I would still put it as like for the aspect of what the race is, I would put it as a good mix of ninja to OCR, maybe a little bit more on the ninja side because you can get away with one or two big moves and be done with that obstacle. But the head-to-head aspect, you don't really necessarily get with ninja unless there's a course specifically for that.
So it's kind of a hybrid almost. Yeah. All right, so up next we should have Suzanne Himka and Kristen Concati that are on the course right now, going against each other. Now, did they specify like which lane, if you were the lower seed in the right and then the higher seed in the left? Or?
So the higher seed was able to choose.
Oh, so we don't know really then from that aspect. It's whatever the higher seed had a preference for that round.
But for example, like Skull Valley, you had to lead here with your right arm. But the same thing, like going on other obstacles, doesn't matter if you lead with your left or your right if the lane is wider. So it just really depends on your preference.
I mean, in all reality, though, for Skull Valley, how would you lead with your left arm?
That's true.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see, right?
With that, I think he was talking about like a monkey bar technique.
Okay. So if you're going to monkey bar, you got to start with with your right hand.
So short of being anybody being disqualified, if everybody goes through smooth, and these two women, whoever gets there first, goes on to the next round. Or
there's no next round; it's their time.
Yep.
Correct. Okay, so it is.
They would have a stop. Somebody has a stopwatch from the start to the finish.
Because it's just this go and.
Yes. Okay. Now, do you know what those times are? Are they telling the other competitors what the times are out there, or it's all basically you get told when it's time to end? Oh, she fell.
I think she may have missed the bell.
Oh, I hope she's okay. That's rough. Other girl going nice. Now you're seeing how those hangers really work, right? They kind of have a hinge point, and they're able to swing back and forth like on a hanger type thing. Mm-hmm. Get that rope climb. I like that little foot. Get more of the legs involved instead of the upper body sometimes, or at this point they're probably gassed. Still stuck back there. Come on, keep fighting. Now, the cargo net, one thing to note, right? A cargo net, that's really draining. The monkey bars, everything else are pretty static. They hold. Oh. But as you can see here, just like that cargo net, it goes and it gives on you.
Yes.
And it really drains that grip really quick. And it's a lot more difficult because now you bring the net down and you have to reach higher up on your hand. And you almost have to get a pulled version to get your hand up above. And so you can see as she's struggling. I don't know if she's going to get through and finish this course if this is going on her third try. And she's just going to be gassed to even be able to get through that. I guess a clarification, are you able to use your feet on the upper cargo net?
Not on the higher one, no. That was the other rule he made. So vertical cargo net, you could use whatever you want. Horizontal, you can only use hands.
So unless her grip isn't shot, she's that might be it, unfortunately.
The swing on the left hand, and she's
calling it herself. A very good try, though. Valiant effort. Give a round of applause for that. Out here having fun still. Yeah. Very good, very good. All right, so next up that we have on our list is going to be Dick's. Oh, man, apologize. Give me one more second. It's going to be Dixie Bonner and Gabrielle Volkmer. And these two only had 2 seconds differential between them in their qualifying runs. So once again, this should be a pretty tight race as they go through the course.
Should we steal those chairs over there?
I don't see why not. You don't want to be that guy in Akbar?
Thanks.
been standing over here all weekend. Here we go. Now we're professional.
Whew. All right, here we go.
All right, did you catch who we've got?
Yeah, it was Dixie Bonner and Gabrielle Volkmer. Once again, I apologize if I slaughter any of the names.
You know, our camera's way behind on one of them.
So, the question, as I saw the lady with the black pants on, that she went, she touched the tape, but then she reset before going on. Would that could be considered DQ since she saw that she had it and reset before going on and was able to start the obstacle before actually touching the first element?
I believe if she touches the tape and steps back, resets before attempting the obstacle, you should still be okay.
Okay. I like that, using the rope swing to try to get as deep into that cargo net that's hanging there. Because the longer you are on that, really it does zap that upper body strength that you need to get through that vertical section. Look at what she did there. She kept her feet hooked and got as far down that cargo net as possible to keep from having her whole weight, both of them doing it, right, to keep your whole weight from being on there. That's a very savvy move, as long as you can make sure your feet don't get stuck.
Absolutely. Oh, we're losing that camera.
Oh, no.
She looks like she missed it.
Or her grip gave out on her.
Something
Or
happened.
did she might have got DQ'd.
Well, could she not go back and try it again?
No, because she was already on the apparatus and then she fell down. Either that or she just fell and she's pumped out and she's just trying to catch a break before she retries. That's what it looks like it was. She just gassed out that forearm, probably got a good pump, and she fell and she's just getting some time to recover. There we go. Oh. There you go. I like that. She made some adjustments there, right? She couldn't get it with just the hand, and so she ended up doing that little kip lâché to kind of reach the bell and kind of get a full send in order to get to the end there. I like seeing the adjustments on the fly. All right, so the next two that we have coming up would be Jackie Desmond and Karen Hart. And in their qualifying times, they were only a second apart from each other, actually less than a second. You had a 146.9 and a 147.1. So once again, it should be another tight race back and forth between these next two. There we go. Look, getting a nice hug. That's got to be devastating, right? Getting on the obstacle, knowing that you can do it, and then just having your grip fall out on you like that, or just a little slip and you're down on the ground and you know that pretty much ruins your chance, right?
You got to think you're going all out for about a minute and a half. Your adrenaline's going to take over. You're going to get pumped. Your heart rate's going to get jacked. So anything can happen at that point.
Okay, and they're off. Here's the next two. Man, that wide angle is really throwing them off. Now, I'm sorry, I don't recall. Were you on the inside or outside lane?
I was on the left lane. So looking at it, I would have taken that wide turn at the beginning.
Did that have an effect? Did you run both lanes when you did your qualifying to kind of have an idea, or did you choose one lane specifically for both of your runs?
I believe I stayed on the right lane for both of my qualifying.
So you stayed that inside, so you didn't have to make that big wide turn?
Yep.
Okay.
But the interesting thing where it tripped me up was this corner right here, where you're going from the monkey bars to the cargo nets. The guy from Puerto Rico that I was going against ended up falling down, so I had to step back so that way I could actually let him come up off the ground, and then I could start the obstacle.
Very good. Look, she's still trying to use her feet and to get as far as she can with it. Look, but all right, very good. That slide, you got to make sure you get that momentum. Oh, she's making up ground. The hangers, look at that big jump move. Is she able to catch her there?
We've got a bit of a delay on that one camera, but it does look like the girl in the outside lane made it through first.
But she still finished strong. Very good. All right. So next up is the top 2 females from qualifying. And we'll have Angelica Glasgow and Lucia Valentova. And I'd expect to see Angelica to really take it home. Qualifying time was Angelica had a 128.5, while Lucia had a minute 37.5 in qualifying. So let's see if they can keep that same pace, or do just as well, even with the lights on you, the pressure, having someone right next to you, that adrenaline. It does make it a different feel as you go through it.
Cool thing about the delay is that we're going to get to see the first rig twice, like a little bit of an instant replay, but then we've got to try and plan for that as they get through and not lose too much.
All right, here they go. Almost side by side, even with the going on that outside.
There you go.
That neck and neck feeling just makes the competition feel so much more exhilarating as you're going through it too.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Adds for that extra drama too, right? And then you put that pressure on yourself, and then you can perform under it. Both of them are doing very well, though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they've had any trip ups or anything yet so far.
They're kind of staying focused on their own little race. I like how she pulls that rope back to get a good swing into it. Oh no! Take a deep breath. That's a smart move. But you got to go now. You got to go now.
The tricky thing with that cargo net too is that the lower you grab on it, the bigger of a swing you get. So if you want to have that control, you need to be able to grab it up top.
Yep. Let's see. She's using that, keeping the feet to get her body out as far as she can if she's able to catch. She's close. Does she send it? Oh, she got stuck. She didn't get the momentum enough to get to the end. Both of them did. So they're grabbing low, and it looks like they're getting to the end, and they're not high enough to be able to ring the bell. It looks like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, the tricky thing with that obstacle is that you need to be able to grab it high enough so that way you can move it, but you need to be able to jump forward enough so that way your momentum carries with it.
Look, she had to do that rope climb and burn a lot of energy to get through it, but it looks like she finally figured it out. And poor lady there on the right, just not her day with that swing. So coming in now over to the Force 5 hangers. Is that the right term we're using there?
I believe so, yeah.
Get that hip motion. Look at that. Use momentum to get through and getting that rope climb. I don't know. Even with those 2 mistakes, though, I wonder if that's still going to be enough to get her into the final, because there's been some pretty good clean runs earlier on throughout this open wave. I like how you see they get that good backswing before they go and use their momentum to go over and reach that bell. And you see some of them, they kind of don't use that swing, and they kind of get stuck in no man's land. The reach isn't quite high enough for that bell. Sometimes they have to go back.
Yeah.
All right, so let me step outside and see if we can see get the names of who the finals are. Yes.
Awesome. Yes, Jessica, there is a bit of a delay between 2 of the cameras, or 2 of the cameras are kind of spot on, and then the middle camera is the one with the big delay to it. So it gives us a an instant replay of that first obstacle, but unfortunately on that last rope climb, we kind of miss a piece of it. So we're going to try and adjust and show them finishing through with that middle camera. All of our cameras are on cell signal, so we're kind of up to the latency and cell signal gods for how this all turns out. But so far, we've been pretty proud with and happy with the results. Hope you guys are enjoying watching it. They're prepping for the party up here later at 5 o'clock, supposedly. Yep, the Red Bull party. So that's why all the noise is up here, and now they're even starting to play music.
I was saying I didn't know if y'all could hear me, but I was telling you what was happening. From the women, maybe one. Jason, it's Dixie and Angela. I think her name's Angela, right? Is her name Angela, the little girl? Angelica? Yeah, I was like, Angelica?
All right, Jason's back. What do you got, Jason?
It appears that it is. Let me pull back up. I was kind of hearing Angelica and Glasgow, and she said a Dixon. It's hard. A lot of music, everything else. Oh, Dixie Bonner. So Angelica Glasgow and Dixie Bonner, I believe it will be for our first place finish. I'm gonna go step outside and try to listen to the commentator so I can actually let you know which of the two women actually win.
There they go. Definitely going to do the best we can to get the best shots. See if my my switching skills are up to par. Looks like she whiffed the bell, maybe? Looks like she missed it.
At this point, if you're going to go all out on that first run and you have no energy going into that second one, that's what's going to make it difficult when you want to go for those big moves.
She did get it on the second try. I see her coming down the line now.
It's at that point of that competition where the girl on the right over here, it's, even though she's got that lead, anything can happen still. So you still got to play smart and be smooth.
Big back step for this rope swing.
Looks like she got it.
You got this.
A little bit of delay there. Oh, she finished already. We'll stay on this camera so we get the real time.
So that was so our females winner is Dixie Bonner. Out there, it looks like she's actually repping for Sen City, which is actually a ninja gym. So it appears that can be safe to assume that she's coming from one of the ninja gyms. It appears that I think the past day or so, or even this morning, that a lot of the ninjas came out to try to test the course because this is more their forte anyways, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't surprise me to see one of the female winners like that is one of the ninjas are coming from a ninja gym like Sen City. But it's good to see Angelica here still fighting it. It appears that she had a fault or fell off on that first obstacle around the corner.
Yep, I believe her grip just gave out right at the last second when she was going to go for that bell.
That's heartbreaking when you get through like almost a whole entire obstacle and then have to repeat it again. because you have it in the tank and you just wasted that much energy to get there on such a short course, then it's hard to make it up.
Yep.
Like, it's one thing to fail like right there at the beginning and you're able to make up the time, but you already then expended a good 5-10 seconds, and then you have to go back on a course like this that's very fast. It's hard to make that up once you make that mistake.
Well, it's similar to like the 3K course that we had this weekend. If you're able to put everything together, smooth transitions, right into your run, right in every single obstacle, you're able to put it all together. That's what's going to put you at the top.
That's true. So I think the next up is going to be our pro man. So that wraps up. It looks like we had Dixie Bonner in first, Angelica Glasgow in second. And then we'll have to check the leaderboards maybe here a little bit later to see if they give us an updated list on the website to give you who came in third and fourth. It appears that we were good. Also speaking to some of our camera people down on the ground, it does not appear that any of the women were DQ'd in this round.
That's impressive.
As we saw them go through, I think they learned from watching the men
Yep.
to go ahead and take the time, and you could tell they were very aware of that yellow tape and were like jumping up behind it and everything else to make sure that they were clear to make that clean run.
You're the guinea pigs in a way.
Jessica Kodra saying that it looks like Dixie was in pink tank top. Is that, or was that the?
I think Dixie was in the Sen City black tank top. As I was outside listening to everybody else, and the commentator and that as well said Dixie for the win. Now, if I am incorrect and someone knows for sure out listening live with us or viewing in, please feel free to correct me if I'm incorrect. But I do believe, out there that it was Dixie Bonner that did take first.
See you on air. Tony, thanks so much for joining us in the booth.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Take care.
This has been great.
And you're going to go down and watch the pros in person instead of with these laggy cameras.
Absolutely, man. No worries.
No, seriously, thanks. Appreciate it.
It's been great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah, he's got a couple of stationaries set up, and then he had a third one, but we couldn't get it. I don't know why it didn't connect, so I'm standing here.
Oh, gotcha. We met.
Yes, we did. I'm Jamie.
Jamie Kevin.
Nice to meet you again.
Thanks. Exactly. Thanks for doing all this.
Yeah, no problem. It's fun.
All right, so next up here, it looks like we're going to get ready to kick off the pros. Once again, we'll be doing the walkthrough here. Now I'm going to go through. There's actually a big surprise here for me, at least, being a Ninja Warrior fan and following the show and kind of doing that type of stuff that we'll get to here. But the top 8, starting from 8 going up, in 8th place we have Ken Corey Giuliano. In 7th place we had Jeff Shady. In 6th place we had Jonathan Castaneda. So we'll actually get to see him again. He was the one that was over in the open and I believe came in 2nd. That had those 2 runs. We'll see if that's correct as we get going through. Over in 5th place we have Eric Alban. 4th place Jay Lewis. 3rd place Benny Gifford. 2nd place currently BJ Jones. And then no surprise here that he decided to show up and come out here that Joe Morawski is sitting in 1st place. If those of you that don't know who Joe is, because you might be more from the OCR realm, he is one of the top American Ninja Warriors. He's been the last man standing several years on the show, and even in local competitions and stuff, he's been a champion a few times there.
Now, it does look like they're going to let the ladies go first.
Oh, so I apologize. I guess we will get back to all of that here in a minute, and we'll switch over to get the results for the females.
I see Aaliyah for sure.
Yeah,
Aaliyah Emus. Yeah, I'll let you take a look because I'm not sure who else is in there.
One more second, I'll get it to you. All right, so for the females, we have in 8th place Chris Ruglowski. Then we have 7th in Tiffany Palmer. 6th is Ida Malthalid. I'm gonna kill it. She's I believe one of the Denmark girls,
Ida.
right? Ida.
Mathilde Ruben Steensgaard.
Yep. Then we have Ali Tippett, Aaliyah Emes, as you're saying. Then Malia Oshner, Yaris Cruz, and Jalisa Imka. Some of these women, I'm surprised they're out here, and we'll see how they do because I know a handful of them have been on the podium for the 3K, 15K, and the team races this weekend, right?
Yes.
So at this point, I know how I'm feeling, and I know some of us out here they're pretty wrecked, and so it'll be interesting to see. Now their times here, in comparison, we're sitting at anywhere from a minute to a minute 39 separate first through 8th. So we should have some good races here coming through as we get going down this course. It appears that they're going through the rules a little bit quicker. I think some of them have been standing on the sideline and been kind of overhearing it as going through. So I think these walkthroughs should get a little shorter, but who knows? It could be different when we get to the Mel and they have a lot of questions.
He does a good job.
Seems like we got some early party goers in here, hooting and hollering it up. Hopefully it won't get too loud in here while we finish up the show.
Yeah, I guess the lounge area that we're sitting in is where the after party starts here at 5. So they're getting that all set up for all the people that are sore and tired, have been up and down the mountain, are ready to relax, rewind, and be able to celebrate all the hard work that they've gone to.
So we had a comment saying that surprised no Leon or Aaron Newell. Any idea? Can we look and see where they were in the?
Yeah, I'll see if they even competed within it, and we can find that out. What's Leon's last name? I apologize there.
Co-fed, but it's possible it's Anderson. Yeah.
So Leon Anderson did. He finished in a minute 7.
34th?
34th place and 41st place. But let me verify something else here.
And as a comment pointed out, Logan Broadbent did hurt his ankle at one point this weekend, so he probably didn't want to push it. All right, looks like the ladies are through the roll conversation, the roll walkthrough.
Yeah, so the you had to be faster than 46 seconds to be in the top 8 in the Mel, and so Leon came in at a minute 7. So that Leon did compete, just didn't have a fast enough time. And who was the other one that we were looking for?
Aaron Newell.
Aaron.
I think they were confused. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think they thought pro men were going before the women.
It does not appear in the results that Aaron Newell even competed in the 100-meter run sprint.
Somebody giving us some shadow puppets on the camera?
I guess so. I might have found out where your hidden cameras are. All right, so within the first group then, the first setup should be Chris Ruglowski. Man, it's been a long weekend. And Tiffany Palmer. And there's about a 10-second gap between these two in their qualifying times. But once again, the lights on, the adrenaline, it's crazy. Anything can happen, as we've seen so far with the 2 open ones.
kind of want to do a quick reset of the. Oh, here they go.
So Chris is on that outer end, and then the black, and then that would be Tiffany in the red.
Our camera's turned just to the right too much, but it does look like it's in better view or better timing. Oh, looks like I believe Chris missed the bar when she tried to jump into it. Two blonde girls, it's kind of hard to tell which one's which. I think Chris might be in the black, Ida in the pink. Chris Rogalowski with a very impressive time.
That was awesome.
Yes, these girls, I mean, Ida's been one of those ones that we've talked about that's been basically working all weekend, competing in every single race, being in some of the top teams, top times. But it does look like she's wanting to finish this out. Because you never know, somebody else might get disqualified.
All right, so there was some confusion. I do want to make a clarification for the open female. It was Angelica Glasgow. I actually saw her as I was going out. She is the winner for it. It was Angelica. And it's Seal City that she was representing Ninja Gym that they came in today actually. So she's one of those ninjas that came in probably specifically to do that 100-meter course.
Nice job getting that info, Jason.
So between Chris and Tiffany, who ended up coming out on top with that race?
I believe that was that not Ida?
No, Ida's next. Ida and Ali will be going against each other.
Man,
so Chris was in the black, and Ida and Tiffany would have been in the other.
the pink?
Yes.
We had a comment saying that it was Ida, but it's hard to
Unless
tell
they
from our angles.
So this should be Ida and Ali according to the rankings, but it might have got switched out a little bit. Because this might be actually.
We're going to turn a little bit right here, but I think we'll still be okay.
Is this the main one?
No, it's fine. Oh, it's okay. Don't have crew down there manning these cameras, so. Angelica Glasgow, 15 years old.
Yes,
Wow.
she is a teenager. It's amazing on how strong those teenage girls are. Even the youth that have been growing up and doing the ninja stuff is absolutely phenomenal. And even this weekend, we had some 13, 14, 15-year-olds out on the course doing the 15K and everything else and completely crushing it.
Yeah, it's amazing. We'll turn up our outside cameras a little bit to hopefully drown out our background noise here. Here they go.
So that's Aaliyah is in the red.
There you go. Keep it up. Keep it up.
I'd assume that that's Malia Oshner that's in the lead currently right now. I believe
like
she was in black, correct?
Aaliyah's foot touched it as she was going up the obstacle. It's very hard to tell. Like
that was
going
going to be stepped on it there, and that I would assume
Nobody's
it's going to.
calling her
And you
back
can
there.
see David Main Price there with the red hat. You see how his hands up in the air.
Yes.
So I believe that's showing that he's the judge for Aaliyah and that he's calling a DQ for her run.
So she won't be able to go back.
No, because she, like she said, she touched the tape and was engaged with the obstacle, and with that, she's done, right? But if she was touched the tape but didn't start or engage in the obstacle, according to what we were talking with Tony earlier, then she would be able to go back to the set. But because she engaged with the obstacle, that makes it the DQ. Very solid run there by Malia. Very quick through that.
Yeah.
So as you can see on the course, you have the volunteer in the green with the hat that's kind of walking next to a competitor, and then you have David Main Prize there with the red hat and the black shirt and everything that's been resetting the bells and everything else. I think those are your two head judges, so to speak, and each one is assigned the athlete to go along with it.
Thank you.
So I believe, is it Arita Lobet that just won with that? Is that what our commentator's saying?
Or comment the outside or
No,
the
he
comment?
just had a comment
I'm not
coming
sure.
up on that.
I don't think that was Anita, right? That was Aaliyah
And that should have been Aaliyah and Malia if they're going by like what my understanding of with the ranking and going through. Once again, we're going off of assumptions here, but this is intel that we got before that it was going 8 through 1st, and they pair 7 and 8, 5, 6, and so on all the way up to 1 and 2. So the next two on course should be our last round before the final, which will be Halisa Imka and Yaris Cruz. So those over there are showing their overall placement with the males included. I've sorted
Right.
just by the females.
Yeah, I'm curious here. You know, we definitely saw Chris, and you know,
We assumed
think
it was
that was
Tiffany, but
Tiffany.
it sounds like it might have been Ida instead. So there's possibility though through like they might have qualified, but there could have been some issues where they had to drop out because of injuries or something on the course, or they may not have been able to make it. Right?
it's possible. Yes. Love seeing those foreigners tuning in. Thanks for watching. They're off.
Here we go.
Come on, Malia, keep it up. Yeah.
Malia definitely heard somebody call out there.
Interesting. So we might have Malia and Yarasan, and then we might have another example here in a minute of Felisa going against someone again for a second time, based off of someone not being able to make it. We'll see what happens. I like how she got up high on that to kind of reach out as far as she could before she had to drop with the net, you know, so it use that.
Or we got somebody messing with the camera. Here they come. Tight race here. Excellent effort by these two ladies.
Oh,
That came down to right? If they'd been reversed, you know, she'd have to turn to
maybe, but she made a really bad mess up on that slider. If she had got that slider, she would have won 100%.
What is that on the ground? Is that garbage or is it
Trash. It could have been some mental fatigue from the previous race, but I'm not sure. It is rough. It definitely.
Standing up to the finals yet? The finals of the Women's Pro consist of Jalisa and Yanis.
So that's when she gets a really good break. Now, why did she get a break? Because she had the fastest time? She had the fastest time, right? She only ran once before. Yep. So the little girl in the beginning that won the first round?
Jalisa and Yanis. Once again, the endurance that this takes for anybody to do, that's just a minute. But that puts a champion, right, Avery? Great competitions yesterday.
You're still watching with us. We're just waiting for the women's pro finals. Here we go.
Jalisa was the first to hit that top bar. Here she comes.
Nice.
This is Chris, possibly.
Here comes Yanis.
Yep, we lost one of our cameras. Here goes the other one.
Yaris and Jalisa.
Okay, you keep talking. I'm gonna try and feel free to switch between these. I'm gonna go fix the cameras.
So Yaris and Jalisa are going,
Go ahead, scoot fast.
and Yaris, I believe it's Puerto Rico. She was in the shorts, and then Jalisa looks like coming in first up here on the swinging hangers, and is going to be able to go and come in first place. That was a solid run. Looks like something happened with Yaris earlier on in the course. Unfortunately, we have a lot more crowd up around the fences that we're working with. I'm holding up the cameras, and they're kind of unfortunately making it so we're not able to show all the angles that we'd like to. But Yaris representing Puerto Rico there, coming in second, putting in a valiant effort on what's going on there. So that should complete our top well. So the first place is Malia Oshner. Let's see within the profile, pro female, and that should do it.
Joe, Ticket has a question.
So now they should be getting the pro males brought together again. And I guess just to give another quick rundown, we started doing that, and then we had they threw the curveball at us, right, and decided to go with the pro females before the pro males, which is perfectly fine. So just a quick recap then for our top 8 males. We have an 8 going up first. Ken Corgigliano, Jeff Shady, Jonathan Castaneda, Eric Baldwin, Jay Lewis, Benny Gifford, BJ Jones, and Joe Morosky. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'll see once. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have, Joe Morawski, I know, is more of a ninja specialist, so I'd expect him to put up a really good fight. And even still, I mean, this is going to be tight all the way through. Looking at the times here, Joe put up a time of 36.9 seconds. And then VJ was at 38.4, right? So you're looking at a less than 2 second difference, which is, one little mistake or anything else, and you're done. And so, I mean, shoot, it's anybody's game. And even from there, a 10-second difference, that's like a fail or a misstep, and you could lose that whole thing. So every little second counts, and then with the lights on and everything else, it's going to be electrifying out there. I'm excited to see some of these guys go up and see what's going on. I will say, some of the ones, if I, kind of like a Joe Morawski, I believe Jay Lewis, maybe even the Jonathan Castaneda, right? I don't think that they were the ones that were racing throughout the weekend on the obstacle course races, right? They came out here specifically for the 100 meters. Where I know BJ, he's ran all 3 races. He won the 3K event. He went out and put on, I believe, came in 5th over with the 15K. And then his team relay today, this morning earlier, they were able to take first place there. He's been out up and down on the mountain quite a bit, and that could play a factor where Joe, he's coming in here fresh and hasn't had 2 days, almost 3 days worth of lots of elevation, a lot of different things. Same thing going down. I know Benny was out on the course. He ran the 5K, and then he was up and around a lot of the things there. We see here in the camera right now, that's Ninja champion right there, Joe Morawski, and Jay Lewis, I believe. Yes, he is also another one of those young ninjas. I believe he's one of the teenagers. He trains, if I remember correctly, also under Joe Morawski. They call him Jay Lachey. Very well known for his Lachey's. And I believe, I know I'm kind of going off script here with it all, but he's over in the National Ninja League. It's one of the outside competitions that the ninjas do, because American Ninja Warrior not always able to get on there, right? But NNL, it's a competition. You pay for the competitions, and if you place well, you're able to go through. He actually, this past season, was the world champion for the NNL competition, taking it from his coach and mentor, Joe Morawski. So I know he'd love to come in here today, even with us all the time, and throw out something big and make some big moves and dethrone his coach once again. Now, knowing Joe and what I've seen there, I don't think he's going to be out to play. And also, shoot, the competition that we have going on here with BJ and Benny and these other boys, they're other men, they're not gonna, they're here for the money as well. So they're not gonna I don't think they want to see these ninjas come in and take away an OCR 100 meter from them, or to let them know that, OCR is just as challenging or can be just as technical as some of the ninja stuff going on. Jeff Shady, I guess we're seeing his left. I'm not sure if they filled it. If they did, the next person up would be Kevin Thompson. He came in with a 9th place time. I know that prior to coming in here, I saw him kind of scrambling around, talking with Adrian and some of the other ones, trying to get some clarification on how the 3K course, how the 100 meter course was done throughout the weekend. It's kind of new for OCR Worlds, going through what it was you paid to get 2 runs. And I guess there was some misunderstanding in that, but you could actually register more than once. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and register like 4 or 5 times, but you had to pay for each time.
So that's why we saw Ken. That's what you're talking about, right? That's
Yes.
why we saw Ken have more than just 2 attempts.
Yeah, so like in essence, right, Ken has, if you go through, I bet you he has more attempts going through, or he ran through the course maybe 4 or 6 times, but he had to pay for each 2 runs that you do. And then you had to make sure that a spot was available in order to do it. So it's a first come, first serve basis. So if you want more time on the course, you pay for it to go forward. I'm seeing a question up here with Leon. Leon did compete. His time just wasn't fast enough. Like I said, these guys were flying. They're sitting here. You had to be under a sub 46 seconds to get through this course. And Leon ran at like a minute 7. So, I mean, he's great, very technical. But I guess, at some point, some of these guys came to play and took some big risks during qualifying, and it paid off for them.
I would dare to say that you're going to see some of these guys do that jumping and completely skipping the obstacle to hit the bell technique on possibly 3 different obstacles, maybe more. And I would not be surprised.
And I mean, if you're looking right here, BJ Jones is sitting pretty tall. Benny Gifford, who's sitting in third, really tall athlete. Joe Morosky is powerful, has a lot of hops and everything else as well. Very good body control in the air. Also tall. Like, they're able to make those big jumps further into these obstacles and kind of do a one touch and hit the bell type move, where it's almost a sprint through the course and hitting those turns. So exactly, kind of heighten this as it actually plays to an advantage based on how short the obstacle is between that yellow line and the bell.
Yeah, unfortunately for somebody that's shorter like Leon with not quite a big wingspan, there's not much you can do in that regard.
But it'll be interesting, as I was pointing out, Jay Lachey's, he's like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old young man that's short, hasn't hit, that growth spurt or anything else, but he still has the 4th fastest time. So I guess one thing to look out for, though, right? That yellow tape is, Tony was saying earlier, if they touch it and they go and engage with the obstacle, that's a DQ. So I know these guys like to go fast. It might have been a little bit more lenient during qualifying, but now they have a judge on them the whole entire time all the way through. That could play some factors in today's race, I think.
That's true, and this is something that they just started back in 2019. So, this is their only second time doing this at OCRWC. So we may see more changes to this come next year.
I do know in the background, Carl is kind of over the 100-meter course, or kind of helps with the setup, and I do know that he does want to make it where it's a straight line all the way through in order to make it go, right? So
Kind of freaking out.
unfortunately, the layout and everything that they had here, they had to make the little turns and everything in it, which is nice for viewers, right? You can stand up here on the balcony, see the whole course, and have the feel. But I do think in the future events, I believe that they want to work towards having it a straight line all the way through.
It'd be very interesting to see where they could find a spot in this area to do that down here in the village.
Especially that's like level, you're not going to have the weather, the grass, or anything else like that.
A low rig on the course would be really awesome to see.
It'd be cool to get like some of the, I know I've seen some quick courses and stuff like done in convention centers and stuff where they have like the little crawls and like some of the carries and stuff kind of utilized within it, where it's not all upper body rigs, and that would make it more like an OCR type feel too, instead of almost like a mini ninja course.
And they did have those in 2019. They had some low crawls. And it's possibly because of the fact that this is all on concrete that they made the choice to not do that. And the tape was up all weekend, but it wasn't. They weren't being as stringent. It's basically they were saying, don't touch the tape, but you didn't have a judge watching you the entire time. It's just as long as you weren't stepping way over the line kind of thing.
And so I think for clarification, because now money's on the line and everything else, Adrian, as we brought one of the athletes up here, was very distinct that you touch it and you engage, you're done. And I don't think he wants a gray area, especially with everything going on with it. Once again, new concept too for some of these athletes to be in this type of environment. It's not up on the mountain as we were talking, where it's kind of a little bit more relaxed, but not really. But there's some more freedom, and you're kind of not going 100% all the way through in this type of like a sprint, so to speak. Where up on the mountain, as you go through a course, you're kind of at a run, and you can work in through it. So it looks like we're getting ready to have the first set of pro men. They have the whole entire setup, so we should see Ken and Jeff, but it appears that Jeff is not there. So we'll see if we recognize who Ken should be running up against. Oh, it looks like Joe went ahead and took the free thing, like what they were saying, as a first run and getting a play run for this one, maybe as a warm-up before he goes in later on. And you can see Joe jumping in really far into that net and not even worrying about it. Man, flying through the course. One step to the yep, and then he might even be able to jump all the way up. I don't even know if he
missed that last quick line there.
I don't even think he touched the rope, did he? I think he might have just jumped up and hit the bell.
It's possible,
right? And I think like a Benny and a VJ can almost have that same opportunity there, where they can almost jump up and touch it. Once again, there's no yellow line or anything there, So that would be something to kind of clarify now that we have these taller athletes, and maybe if we see them doing that, maybe that is legal.
He said the net.
But Joe putting on a very dominant performance there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if that's the case, we should see Jonathan Castaneda and Eric
I mean,
Baldwin
they just
again.
don't love cargo
Now,
nets, so.
one thing we're not for sure is certain whether Joe just took that as a practice run and that time did not count, or if he went ahead and took that as his actual time to give him more rest, knowing the confidence that he has the faster time to have rest before that final, so you're not going back to back.
Benny Gifford and somebody had a.
So Jonathan Castaneda, it should be interesting if I'm understanding it, if it's the same. He already went through with the open. Oh no, I think they pulled him from it, right? And so that's why he wasn't in the
I keep
open.
trying to decide
And they had the
exactly
two-runner once
open.
again. So this will be the first time we'll be seeing Jonathan Castaneda because he qualified in both spots. So
okay.
I retract what I was about to say there. We have
My
Jonathan
phone
and Eric
showed,
should be the next two
10%
going up against each other.
minute ago,
And in
I really
qualifying,
wanna
you
get
know,
through the
Eric had a
post, but I also don't
41.9
want
and
Jason
Jonathan
to
had a
lose his part of his
42.7.
lead,
So they should be neck and neck.
if I
But
need
it looks
to
like we got Benny
make a
Gifford
match.
going on against maybe Jonathan Castaneda. So they might be switching up the.
Benny missed.
Benny missed. The pressure's real. Oh no, it looked like we might have a DQ. No, he touched the yellow line. You had it looks like you can see the judge in green had his arm up, or is it David Mainprice has his
Come on, Benny!
one up for Jonathan Castaneda. Unfortunately, but once again, look, Benny, his feet touched that yellow line with that jump, and you can see we have another arm up. It might be that both of these competitors got DQ'd. You see that Benny just completely going, and he does get the hand on the rope in order to get to the top. But it does appear that both men were DQ'd, and as we were talking about earlier before they got started, that tape and them trying to go fast could be a factor in this run. I will go outside to get verification that happened, but we'll see what's going on.
That was incredible.
I'm good. This one was over. That was impressive.
No, they both hit tape. The other guy hit before him, so Benny's good. Hey,
They're saying
wait.
they both hit the tape.
Get him to set your phone up because mine showed 10% like 5 minutes ago. My phone showed 10% like 5 minutes ago. Get him to set your phone up.
How did Benny's get back to?
Benny, I think, was able. He got his hand on because he's so big and tall that he was able to, I guess, engage with the obstacle before his feet touched the yellow tape, and so that makes him good.
I think he was concerned for a second. He told me he was upset. Golly.
So resetting the course, they might be doing these rope climbs and kind of resetting these bells. Uh-oh, they let Jay Lachey go early or before they had the course restarted. And I am not sure who the other gentleman, but you're going to see this young 15-year-old just go at it hard. And look, he's able to make up room on Jay Lachey, as his ninja name would go. But look at make quick work on that cargo with a big move. Coming off of that rope, hits it, and he's probably going to do a jump and swing and go and up that rope. And you can see why even though what he's able to do with that body momentum and swinging through, and why he also has that name of Jay Lachey.
Amazing.
Quick through that course. They did not stop for anything. They were 100% all the way through.
The strength to weight ratio is crazy when they're young like that. Like all those teenagers that showed up and did the show this year, that.
All right, resetting up. We'll see who's coming up next.
So if Joe and Jay, wait, did he say Joe and Jay? Because BJ hasn't run yet.
All right, we're gonna try and get a replacement camera down there before the battery dies, so we can get all this action.
I was thinking he was already calling Joe and Jay, and I was like, well, then that means Benny was third. But then BJ hasn't run at all yet.
Right.
So.
Man, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out.
I know.
I did my part. I ran
I
it.
just don't want it to die in the middle of, you know, the finals.
I thought so, but like there and he's ready to run again.
Because his hand went up.
Like we're getting all swapped out.
They said I heard them say judge's decision is final. I thought they meant that they weren't running to continue, but apparently they are. Maybe he's just standing there. He's not going to run again, but he looks ready to run again to me.
They gave him the news. He kind of
And people are really upset because in the open they disqualified people for hitting tape, but in here they're not. And they disqualified people for crisscrossing lanes, but then after the open women started and they were doing it, they weren't disqualifying for it. And so,
Yeah, it does look like we've got some discrepancies between
really upset.
the rules in the open and the pro.
All right, so hopefully we can get this an interesting update. As we saw, Benny did touch the yellow line, but he wasn't DQ'd. They updated the rules for the pros. So if the first person that touches yellow line, they're DQ'd. But then if that's the case, then the other competitor can touch the yellow line up to 3 times before being DQ'd in that round, which is interesting because that's almost like an advantage.
So the first person to
If
touch,
you're going back head to head, if you touch first, you're DQ'd. But then the other person then has the opportunity or then has the ability to touch the tape 3 times within that run before being DQ'd, which is why we allowed Benny being able to touch it a few times and still not be DQ'd.
that is a wild rule. Very interesting.
Because if you're going for time, I mean, I find that very interesting to make that decision because it should be the same for every single person going through the course. And if you change it just because your competitor next to you, if it's based off of time, not a head-to-head competition, you'd expect them to, now he has an advantage the rest of the way through that the other competitors may not have.
That's true. And one thing about this course, it definitely isn't 100 meters. It's a little shorter. You know, they really squeezed it in this year. I'm sure they'll figure out what to do next year or something different. But
All right, so we have Joe and Jay Lachey going at it. And from what I've heard on the course, they might be having these two go at as the final, but we did not see BJ Jones go. So I'm not sure what's going on here and what the actual thing is. We'll have to see. Unfortunately, Joe's going down and just really showing his little predecessor that he still is the man. But Jay's making a big surge at the back end. Can he catch him? Look at this, a sprint next to each other. Oh no, they both missed it out of excitement. Can they do it? Oh look, Jay's making it all the way through. Is he gonna beat him? It looks like Jay went ahead and took another championship from his coach. Amazing, look at that. Unfortunately, we did not see the side-by-side, but wow, folks, you do not get any closer, more excitement than that. That was absolutely phenomenal and lived up to what we're looking for this 100-meter course. Very viewer-friendly, lots of excitement, and my goodness, that was epic.
We did not get the photo finish there yet. I don't know if they're sure of who won.
I feel like I know.
We will see, but it looked like Jay came across. But man, they're gonna have to go back to the books. We're not going to declare anything yet, but it did look like Jay went ahead and was able to upset his coach there.
I feel like I know, but I don't know. It's live. I don't know if Jason can pull it up. Okay.
We did it. They're asking her if we saw who it was. Tell them we missed it.
We
from
missed
that
it
angle.
from that angle.
If you,
Oh,
if you
out
want,
there,
they're
yes.
asking. Very unfortunately that we didn't catch it from this angle. That delay really messed us up here. Or at least they're trying to rely on our video for it.
Jason, can he play it back?
Unfortunately, I missed that angle
Because I
and
did
won't be
it
able
like
to.
this. I have it.
Are you guys recording or live?
It's live. So Jason's going to go back and see if he can get it.
Gotcha.
No, we didn't get that angle. It wasn't recording that angle at that
They're
time.
going to look at the live feed to see if they can rewind. I don't know if you
I was
want
on
it
the other angle, so we didn't
from
get it.
OCR report. I turned
They're not sure?
like this, and
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like I...
Yeah, we have two different. I'm turning the photo this time. What? I'm turning the camera this time. Against that pole. Hey, on the wooden pole.
Huh?
We'll have to make sure we focus on that angle coming through for the finals.
Jason!
Yeah.
So the drama is real, folks. It was so close, we weren't able to tell. They did not get a good camera angle on it, so they determined it as a tie, and we are about to see a rerun.
Oh my goodness.
Of them against each other once again. So folks, please hold on to your seats because we're about to see another fast and furious run between the coach and his student.
Are you comfortable doing the camera switching?
No, I'm not.
Okay. This camera and the other camera, both this one and this one, are at an angle. Just use the stick, the thumbstick. We're gonna try and see if we get the camera shots adjusted. We do have the instant replay ability, but we just unfortunately weren't on that camera at that time. But we'll make sure that we are for the next ones coming through.
And I'm pretty sure it was Joe. Because he stuck his arm out.
It's not the arm. It's
No, they said
most-
whatever
They
breaks
said
the
whatever
plane.
breaks the
And
plane.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure it was
Did you get it? I'm gonna turn my.
No, I was back there. I'm gonna record in 60 frames a second right here.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
I'm doing
got
as
you.
well.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Both of those guys just jumped through.
Go, VJ!
Come on, VJ! Come on, Manny!
Oh, lane switching. Got in his way.
Go, Bennett!
Here they come through the finish.
It's definitely Benny.
And now they've got a camera 60 frames a second so they can slow it down.
Thank you! Thank you! I totally was. I've been getting it all on video.
We are still waiting to see VJ's run. Not sure when he's going to go.
We're gonna improve
Let's
it.
refine the wheel.
Yeah.
He was one of the top two, so it's possible they're getting everybody else's sorted first.
We have 3 cameras. I like watching.
You're right.
Yours is already recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start
And you're
mine
about
as soon as
to.
they start.
Okay. I mean, I have it. I just don't know how they go back on that on a live feed.
You can't.
Okay.
Not unless it's YouTube live.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Are you Facebook live or?
No, OCR report for Jason Dupree.
Is that on Facebook Live or Instagram
No,
Live?
I think it's Instagram Live.
Yeah, Instagram Live, you can't scrub back.
It's on YouTube.
I think
They can't hear us down there at the camera.
Literally had just called me over to time it.
Well, we got it here.
James low. Look, Jamie's chilly down there. We're gonna see if we can get her a jacket.
No.
That would have come down to the same 100.
Yeah, they both would have. Yeah.
Dude, I slowed it down a minute ago, 60 frames a second, watching her foot.
I mean, and look, everybody's gonna have video on it now too.
Well, the angles don't matter. It's here that matters.
No, but I'm just saying.
Right.
All right. So
Yeah. Am I shaking?
it looks like we got Joe
Thank
and
you.
Jay Lewis are going to be doing a rerun. And what we had was actually a semifinal race. So both Benny and BJ were running a semifinal against Joe, and then Joe and Jay were running a semifinal. And the winner of those two will then go for the final win. So really what we're looking at here now, folks, is Benny did win, according to the announcers and everything, this past race. And so he's in the finals, and they're going to go ahead and just about do another rerun between both Joe and Jay, and the winner of that will go against Benny in the final. So we got so they trained that what we had was 2 semifinals. So the winner of BJ and Benny is going to take on the winner of Joe and Jay.
So that's what's about to happen right now?
That's what's about to happen right now. Is the Jay and Joe run should happen as a rerun because it was too close for us to tell.
Oh my goodness.
And it was also almost a photo finish with BJ and Benny, and it was deemed that Benny got across the line first. This is some exciting stuff right here.
So we are going to catch the replays at this point. And if we need to, then we can come back and play it like this. Slow-mo.
Shivering.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to use that.
Yes, and we might, because Joe and Jay, they don't like to lose in either one of them.
Did you
and
see the,
I definitely know that they don't want to lose to each other.
No, I just got here like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Jamie said she's shivering. I did send her my jacket down there.
Thank goodness. We need to keep her warm.
We were saying like literally it was so many that it went from like 15 to 3 people. And so we were saying they need a losers bracket to really like get it figured out, because it just it was ugly. People aren't really happy about it.
Yeah, definitely, as Benny said, refine the wheel.
I think what would help is like a starting platform and an ending platform, like of some sort, like not just the tape, because
Like physically jump onto.
like
the games.
like a step up. Yep.
All right, here we go.
Looks like they're getting ready to go.
All right.
Check, Mike. Okay, here we go.
All right, Joe and Jay back at it again. Joe in the early lead, but he had that inside lane, remember, so we'll see if they get side by side again. Oh no, Jay lost his grip. Slipped off. It looks like Joe might run away with it now as long as he doesn't make any more mental mistakes, but man, Jay knows he can fly still. And this is where he made up time on Joe and almost caught him. Swinging down. It looks like Joe's going to walk away with this one pretty handily. Oh, that's an unfortunate break for Jay. Unfortunate, because it looked like he had him, but we did not have the video evidence for it to verify for sure. And as we like to say a lot in some of my community friends, is if you don't have it on video, it didn't happen. So it looks like now we're going to have a Joe Morawski versus a Benny Gifford in a final match.
Take a look at a quick replay here.
Look, he had it, but his hands, his fingertips just like slipped off, which is, I would say, very, very abnormal for Jay. He's pretty strong with his grip. for Ninja, but man, that's a tough break. But they were winded. When I went out there and saw them, both of them, even, you know, we were sitting there 4 or 5 minutes after that race, and they're still both of them with their hands on their knees, breathing hard. Like, that's how hard these guys are going.
That's amazing.
5 minutes?
So hopefully that doesn't hinder Joe, right? Because that's his third run now that he's done, and Benny's done twice, right? But that's 3 for Joe. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they give Joe a little bit of a breather before they start back up to let him catch his breath and see what he's able to do against Benny. Now, the one thing we did see, Benny did have a history and got through that first round because his opponent did touch that yellow line. So hopefully that doesn't play a factor here in the finals. I hate to see it be a champion, you know, deemed because someone got DQ'd on a technicality as simple as touching that yellow tape.
Right. It definitely won't be the show that everybody wants to see. Looks like they're going to have a little bit of a break here. Get things set up, let the guys take a breather before the final.
So we'll see how this goes. I mean, with a run like that, I hope they give him a decent break because he's going hard. And really, you go through like that and you push it hard, you get kind of lactic buildup real quick, and you can flash them up. And I'm curious if that might have been what happened with Jay as well, right? As we were going and looking through everything, like they didn't have a good solid like warm up area like they're used to in some of their competitions and stuff that they have going on. I wonder if that played a role with him with his finger slipping, or it might have just been the adrenaline and everything else. It's hard to say with that. Very good. That's what I was hoping for to hear. We just got news that they're going to give them a 5-minute break in order to recover, get things back under control so they can go out there and hit it hard. So I'm glad that they made that decision here. A very good thing.
So, you know, we are waiting here. They were giving them a 5-minute break. Something other than yellow tape to step on definitely would help. You know, these are little stuff. If they continue this next, you know, they can break something about.
Tape is a very difficult thing to do. I think having like starting pads that they have to leave from would probably be more beneficial, or have like almost put like a tape down on the ground in like a square that they have to start in that box or leave from that box. So it's a little bit more, you know, step up. I know when we do ninja competitions and everything else like that, we have like a starting platform for each obstacle before you go into it, and a majority of them to help, you know, because it's very, you know, if you step on the edge of it, you're still okay because you're on that platform, so to speak. So maybe moving something towards that way, especially, I know you're almost mixing a hybrid, you're trying to keep that OCRWC here, but then with what we're seeing here, you almost need a dedicated start-finish, and having a platform and almost incorporating a little bit of the ninja in with it on maybe some of these rigs that they're doing these big jumps and everything from, that they're trying to keep them to use the obstacles, but man, some of these gaps are just so short they're able to just jump and hit a bell, unfortunately.
And as we're seeing, this short course, the way they've kind of tucked it in here, it does lack some of the things like somewhat longer rigs. Somewhat longer rigs that keep people from just jumping all the way through, and a straight path that makes those lane changes not a problem. But, that's the kind of thing that they'll, again, be looking forward to next year to change if need be.
It is hard too, right? Because out on the course, you don't have super long rigs, so to speak, a majority of the time. And if you're trying to do a 100 course and everything else, and we're trying to incorporate, make it more OCR, not necessarily a ninja competition, it's going to be a hard balance for them to find going forward in the future. Man, let's hope we get a nice cloud come through and block that sun out a little bit with that. It's a nice view, but a beautiful afternoon now. It looks like the wind's dying down just a little bit. Great day to be outside. Beautiful weather out here in Vermont. Man, maybe I should start becoming a weatherman, because look what happened. The clouds came in and kind of gave us a little bit clearer image there.
Oh yeah, and over on this side too. Two. If you ain't blaming me, you ain't blaming him. Oh no, 4K 60. I got this shit.
You didn't hear that? Matt Willis talking about how he's shooting in 4K and 60 frames a second. He's like, I got this.
Of me shivering.
Here we go.
So cold.
Is my jacket not doing enough
trying
for
not
us?
to take
She's
everything.
So
I'm like, that's my platform.
Drain.
She's got 2
I gotta
jackets
calm
on.
my breathing.
Part of it's just where she's at right now on live. She's actually cold even when it's really
go.
hot outside. Here we go, Benny and Joe. Let's see what happens. Man, Joe making quick work of that turn. Really going through. We're going to see if Benny's going to be able to go through. Dude, they both just jumped and hit that bell. They didn't even go through. It looks like we're still good. Oh, Benny, same thing that happened with Jay Lachey. It looks like his hand slipped off when he's going off with that rope. But Joe, once again, sure, he looks like he knows he has it as long as he's able to get through this. Gets that little, he's going to, I don't know. We'll have to check. Are there any hands in the air? It looks like he get it, as long as we do not have any issues with the yellow tape. Man, Benny fell way behind on that. I think that's rough. That's really hard, but man, he is excited. Everybody's smiling. It's a good time. A lot of fun for the weekend, but we will see what happened. But you can see the crowd is amazed, and boy, did Joe put on a show. Let's go back over here. Benny had both hands, and he got ahead of himself. I think he was looking for that bell and didn't watch his hand really make that connection and just fell down. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Let's see what happens here. He goes over, he gets hand, and he's looking for, almost like he's going to hit the bell. He had his hand, and then he brought it down to like slap, and he just fell down afterwards. So what a show. Congratulations to Joe Morawski going through and coming out here and, showing us OCR folks that Ninja, if you put it short and all the obstacles together, they can still be a dominant force. It'd be interesting to see what would have happened if we got him out on like a 3K course against some of them, on how he would have held up with some of that cardio aspect of things.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I do believe we're going to have to, we do want to do a team recap, but I think we're going to have to wrap it up here and maybe do that show a little bit later tonight. So thank you for tuning in, sticking with us through the troubles and the tricky stuff there and watching the show.
I love that. Running up the mountain once as a before you go into the qualifier, you have to hit at a certain time or make it part of it, right? It's the buy-in of you got to do a 100-meter mountain climb to then get to the start line of the course. that would be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, thank you so much. Excellent commentating, sitting in the booth with me, running back and forth, fixing cameras, just all around
My
awesomeness.
pleasure. I want to make sure that the folks at home can still enjoy the experience, even though they're not out here. Maybe get out here next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we are going to call it here, and I'll set a schedule sometime later tonight for a recap show with some replays of the team race from earlier today. Thanks again for watching. This was the OCR Reports, and we'll catch you next time.